Welcome, gamers from around the globe. You've dropped into the best place for Game Pass news. That's right, it's the Game Pass Tracker Show. This is episode 133, recorded live. That's right, it's live, Thursday, December 28th. I'm Nick Metzger, here with the best dang co-host a guy could ever have. That's right, it's the guy over there, Mr. Sean Abbott. We're going to fill your brains with all this week's bits and bobs of Xbox, like a look back at the grand year of 2023, big organizational changes to ABK, Starfield celebrates 13 million players, and developers are thrilled with Game Pass? Yeah, we'll talk about that too. You better sit down. You better buckle up, because Game Pass Tracker Show is one crazy ride.
Hello, and everybody, and welcome to that crazy period between Christmas and New Year where you are consistently filled with cheese and cold meat, and you have no idea what day it is or what time it is in most cases. I want to welcome you all to today's show. This is your favorite Xbox Game Pass podcast, the Game Pass Tracker Show. You can find us pretty much everywhere. On any social networking app, just search for @GamePassTracker. And this week, we started live shows over on Instagram. So you can find us there. That is @GamePassTracker Live. Hello, people of Instagram. It's nice to see you. If you have any thoughts and questions, don't hesitate to shoot us an email at show@GamePassTracker.com. And if you are liking what you were hearing, we'd love to hear it. And you can leave a review on your go-to podcast app of choice. It really helps us grow and reach more fans just like you guys. But we wouldn't be a Game Pass show without promoting the big daddy itself, Xbox Game Pass. If you love Game Pass, you love our show, and you want to show your support, head over to the link in the description and sign up to Game Pass within the next 24 hours from the Xbox.com website. And thank you very much, Nick, for putting that in the chat. You can sign up. Not only will you be supporting us, the Game Pass Tracker Show, but you'll also be signing up to the best gaming subscription going, Xbox Game Pass. You can sign up to whatever level you desire. I'm Ultimate, Nick's Ultimate, but there is PC Game Pass, there is Core, and there is Game Pass Ultimate. Just play your own way by using the code in the chat, which Nick has now provided, or in the show notes. She'll help us continue to create the awesome content we love to make for you guys, our amazing fans. So without further ado, Nick, let's head into the Game Pass headlines.
Mr. Sean, I don't think we have ever had an empty Game Pass headlines.
No, it's a complete ghost town out there. It's unreal. I mean, yeah, I completely understand they need this break.
Yeah.
Like, everybody needs it. They had a hard year, and 18 months to almost 2 years with the ABK stuff. They've probably got a lot of stuff going on in the background, but to have absolutely nothing for us to talk about really in the headlines.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so just so you guys understand, we cover, because you're like, well, there's been weeks with no Game Pass. Sure, there has. But we cover 3 weeks at a time. We cover last week, this week, next week. So that's 3 whole weeks. I mean, maybe once, maybe in the 3-ish years we have podcasted, there has not been a game in 3 weeks. But I mean, it does not happen often at all. And so, but as I was thinking about it, Sean, I mean, since we don't have a game to talk about, I was thinking it's more of an expectation that Xbox has got themselves into now than like a need, right? Like, I consider to be like, They need a game. They need a game because they have their subs expecting that they're going to get a game. We don't really need a game. I got a shit ton of games to play on Game Pass right now. Like, I'm buried in games. So I don't need a game, but I feel like I need a game because that's what Xbox has always done. It's like Pavlov's dog, right? Like, I'm salivating for the next game just because. So it's interesting.
Yeah. And it's nice to be in a position this time for this year to say, we have that many games. We've got such a back catalogue of games. I've got things like Far Cry 6 is on the go. I want to get to Tin Hats. There's Goat Simulator that like me and the kiddos have been playing, as well as like things like Coral Island that I want to dip back into because you've got great stuff to say about that at the moment. but then like I'm sat here also thinking like, what's next? Like I don't know. Maybe it is something we've grown to expect. We've gotten so used and comfortable for there to be a new game every week that like we want to get to or got to try, because at least out of most weeks there's been 2 to 4 games dropped quite regular over the course of the last 18 months. That there's always something to try, always something to go and play. So
for sure. So I mean, what we have that we think we know that's coming out is Persona 3 and Persona 4 on January 19th. Monster Hunter. Oh wait, no, this is wrong. I'm sorry. This is wrong. Nope, my bad.
They're going to say Persona 3 is 2nd of February. So
yeah, I guess I should. I guess so. Yeah, 2nd of February. Where's my list?
I mean, the only potential game that's coming in January, and that's like mid to late January, is Turnip Boy Robs a Bank.
Yep, that's it. Yeah, thank you for saving me.
And I mean, if you want to go and play one of those Turnip Boy games, there is some still on Game Pass. They are hilarious. If you like a Link to the Past style view gameplay with tongue-in-cheek comedy in the dialogue, the game's great. So I'm quite excited for the new one. If it is true to form that will be there. So
yeah, so we don't really have anything for the headlines at all. So I guess we'll unless you got something else, Sean, we'll jump right into the X feed.
No, just to remember, a quick reminder that leaving December 31st is Monster Train and Akara Blade Point. So we've got 2 games that are leaving the subscription service on December 31st. As always, if you are interested in any of those games, and I'm stealing Nick's bit here because I want to
do it.
If you are interested in any of these bits, you have until October 31st to beat them or buy them with your 20% off with your Game Pass subscription.
All right.
Let's move into the X feed.
Welcome to the X feed, where we talk about all things news in the Xbox world. In the Xbox world, we have what's coming to Game Pass in 2024, because, we're pretty much done with 2023, and that makes sense that's where we would look. Game Pass so far. Hell, I knew this was a list. I just had to move down. I knew there was a list. I was desperate for it, Sean. I couldn't find the damn thing. So we have a handful of games that we know are coming out in January. Turnip Boy Robs a Bank, as Sean has already said, January 18th. Go Mecha Ball, January 25th. February 2nd, Persona 3. And then the one I'm actually excited for. I mean, out of all, well, I'm excited for Turnip Boy Robs a Bank too. But February 15th, Played Up. I'm excited to play that game. That's like an Overcooked style roguelike game that you can play with local co-op with friends. So I'm in for that.
Yeah, I mean, next year we are going to eat well. I mean, it looks pretty insane.
Yeah, I mean that's the hope, right? I think we will.
And
too.
I don't think this is a definite list as well. I think some of these might not come, and I think we might get a lot more. So
yeah. I mean, so if you're looking at first party type stuff, you'll more than likely be getting Avowed, more than likely be getting Hellblade. I think is Flintlock first party. I'm not sure if it is, now that I say that. Hopefully we get Hollow Knight. That's on this list to be just, I mean, man,
I haven't seen anything of Hollow Knight for a long time.
Yeah.
So
yeah, Hollow Knight's the new Miniko's Night Market for me. I'm not going to lie. That's the game that's like, I know is coming. It's too popular to not get here, but it's like, whoa, when is it going to happen? Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. I mean, imagine that's going to come out next year. If it doesn't, then that title's janked. So, there's that.
Yeah, so I'm excited for Stalker 2, Still Wakes the Deep.
Oh yeah.
But I have a feeling they're going to be like summer showcase style games, not early doors.
Yeah. I forgot about that. I would love. Do you think so? There's all these games that the games we just named, first party games, bigger games, to be disclosed, kind of at the moment. When do we see the first party game? So we know we got some games in January rolling out, blah blah blah, but we don't have a first party title with a date on it right now.
No. April or May time, I think, is the first.
Oh, really?
First party, yeah. You've got what was the last? We've got Forza Motorsport. Was that the last? And Starfield were the last first party titles, weren't they?
Yeah. Maybe.
Or am I missing a big one here that I can't remember?
Here we'll have a very fun thing coming out. So let me see. I just actually wrote it down. So the first one came out, GoldenEye, was in January. GoldenEye 007. And then Age of Empires 2 came out January 31st, and then Forza Horizon 5 Rally Adventure came out March 29th. Minecraft Legends came out in April 18th. Then Age of Empires 4 came out August 22nd.
So Minecraft Legends was probably the first release or new release.
I'd agree with that.
GoldenEye was the remaster for the new console. You've got DLC, the Horizon 5 Rally Pack. So Minecraft Legends was the first big one, and that came. They did a direct, didn't they, for that?
Oh yeah. There was a whole thing.
So I've got a feeling that we'll have something else like a spring direct, and in that spring direct, we're going to have a first party title named and dated for coming in like a month sort of thing, and probably some form of ABK style news. Like, here you go, you're going to have Crash Team Racing and maybe like some Tony Hawks and stuff like that, or the low hanging fruit with the ABK stuff, not the big hitters like Diablo 4 and things like that.
Yeah. So you think so? I mean, which brings me to my monthly question for you, Sean, because if I don't ask it, then I feel like I'm really missing out. Coming into January, you're telling me we're still not going to see any of these ABK titles on Game Pass. Is that what you're saying? None? Not at all?
Yeah, I don't think we're going to see anything at the beginning of the year. I mean, if we do, it's going to be one of those quick, like, drops that they do on X. That's just going to blow everybody's mind.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think I said this in December too, but let's not roll the tape and find out. It's impossible to know. I think we might see something in January. I don't think it's going to be something huge, but I mean, I feel like it's a lot of money and they got in these titles. They got to start rolling some of them out. Like low-hanging fruit titles. Give me something in January. I know I'm probably more hype than hope, or I'm more hype and hope than reality, than business sense. But man, I need something, Sean. I need an ABK title. I don't need shit, but I want one. There's that for an answer.
I mean, our social team did create a post earlier. And I was just scrolling through X just now, and I was like, "Oh, Activision Blizzard games coming to Game Pass." And then, like, the next paragraph is, "This is the headline every Xbox and Game Pass user is eagerly waiting for."
Yeah,
but that list of games would be huge to get early doors in the year.
Yeah, for sure. And they're totally right. That's what everybody wants to know. Like, when's it coming? And I can't remember, but I feel like I feel like they said something about like early 2024. Maybe I made that up, but
yeah, but early 2024 isn't like the 1st and 2nd of January. So
why not? Like, yes, it is. Yes, it is. Don't lie to me. Definitely is, Sean.
No, you have to temper your expectations with this. This is that I reckon there is a lot of stuff. They're having to probably go through a lot of games and be like, yes, we can do that one. No, we can't do that one yet. maybe we can do that one later, because there's obviously got to be an element of drip feeding these games to us and keeping a good train of hype going. So you'll get, not only will you get more subscribers in, but you'll have happier subscribers in the whole.
Listen, to use their last acquisition, Phil just needs to go in there and rip and tear and start taking some stuff and throwing it on Game Pass and just like be the Doom guy. No, I'm just kidding. I know. I'm just being silly. But I do think that there, by no later than February, there will be at least a couple titles from ABK. I'm not going to sit here and say what they are, but I mean, give some older Call of Duties or something. I don't know what come on. Anything would make the Game Pass crowd go crazy, the Xbox crowd go crazy. So,
yeah.
Well, there you go. There you go. So what's coming in Game Pass in 2024? Well, we just gave you kind of, I'll go over the synopsis real quick before we move on one more time. Turn Up Boy robs a bank, January 18th. Go Mecha Ball, January 25th. Persona 3, February 2nd. Played Up, February 15th. Open Roads, February 22nd. And then it gets a little sketchy past February 22nd. But there will be a lot of filler in there, so don't worry. That's not the only thing you're going to have in the next 2 months. Before you know it, Microsoft they'll be back off of their holiday break, and they'll be giving us those fun little title cards that Sean was talking about, filled with all kinds of goodies.
Yeah, I can imagine. When does everybody go back to work? Like it wouldn't be the 1st of January, would it? You're talking maybe the first Friday of New Year. That's probably when we're going to see the first coming, like, out now or coming soon to Xbox Game Pass and that whole title card.
I could see something Tuesday or Thursday. Tuesday seems a little early. I could see a title card out on Thursday, for sure. That makes sense to me. Let's do it.
Fair enough.
Let's do it. All right. Next on our list, Lies of P Dev is thrilled with Game Pass partnership. It's always wonderful when the devs are happy with their Game Pass choices. It seems to vary wildly depending on the developer, but
also probably wildly depends on how good your game is. Lies of P was a really good game, so loads of people are going to play it.
That's fair. Lies of P director Juan Chow says the Xbox team ran a wide range of marketing campaigns for Lies of P, and I cannot reveal the exact number here, but a huge number of gamers have played our game through Xbox Game Pass. I believe both parties earned a very good result from this collaboration.
Yeah, I mean, for these things to be successful, I mean, you've got to buy into this. So if you're a developer, you're going to kind of got to go to Microsoft and be like, I have this game. We think it's going to be pretty awesome. We would like you to market it for us. We'd like to know a cost of that, or how much we'd have to, like, what percentage we'd have to give you off the back of the game for that, if that's how they want to run the deal. Because nobody knows how these deals work. Nobody ever comes forward and tells us exactly how these deals work.
Mm-hmm.
There's never like a disclosure to this, and they can't even disclose it.
Yeah.
But there's got to be some kind of, like, you buy in at tier 1, and, like, basically you're allowed to have your game on Game Pass, but you can't, we won't handle the PR and the stuff like that. And then tier 2, we might tease it. We'll use it in some of our adverts. If we run a video skit in, like, the next showcase, we'll give you a little bit of airtime in there. Tier 3 is like our PR company. Our PR campaign managers will just absolutely market the living crap out of this game, so it drives loads of people to it. And I wonder, like, if with a game with Lies of P, where it is really good, it's a huge roguelike style, Souls-like kind of game. I wonder if they had enough balls and also projection as to what they would make from the game and how many people would play the game from testing, to kind of be able to gamble on this and be like, hey, look, we really want you to push this because we feel we'll do really well with it. And I would love wholeheartedly to have somebody from Microsoft come on the show and discuss with us as far as they can how these deals work, because for the 3 years we've been making Xbox Game Pass content via a podcast, I have yet to wrap my head around how this works.
Yeah, I mean, I think I totally agree. I think there are so many facets that come into this. But one of the biggest is, how well does the developer or maybe their publisher do at cutting a deal with Microsoft? People Can Fly, Outriders. That deal sounds like it sucked, just to be honest, at least for the first one, right? Like, I mean, it just, like, we kept hearing that they weren't making money, and yet that game was pretty popular for when it came out. And it's just, it really is, how much did I get for my lollipop, and did it make any sense? And I don't think that number's the same. I know it's not the same. Phil has said as much, but how good of a deal did you cut for your game to be on Game Pass? And I think there's also pieces of how many other platforms is your game on. So, and how much are you going to have, like he said, Xbox market that game? Because if Xbox markets that game, then maybe somebody's not buying it on Game Pass. Maybe they're buying it on Steam. Maybe they're buying it on PlayStation. Maybe they're buying it on Xbox but not on Game Pass. So there's just a lot. There's just a lot there, and it makes all the difference from when you see these articles of whether a developer comes out and says, "Yeah, I probably won't do that again. I don't think it did us very good," or you got like Liza P, which is just like, "Yeah, it's great, love it," So,
yeah. I mean, I'm glad the game's done well. I'm glad the developers have had a really good relationship with Microsoft on this. A lot of people really enjoyed the game. I know our friend from the Nintendo Desert community, Hambo and Johnny, played this game, and I think he played it in 100% of the achievements as well. So I know he had a great time with it. Yeah, I mean, if you want to go try it, it's still there. Go give it a go. See what you think. Report back to us about how you feel about the game. So send us an email.
Yeah, for sure. So Liza P, big fan, big organizational changes for Xbox and ABK. Really more ABK than Xbox, but there's a lot of stuff here, a lot of changes. I mean, you sent them to me, kind of. You sent them to me. That was the first I had seen them. I'll boil it down to Bobby Kotick is gone. I think it's been so long, Sean. This ABK deal lasted so long that I think we all forgot about how big of a deal that was when this acquisition was announced. Of like, is Bobby going to have his job? Is he going to be the one? Is he going to get a golden parachute? How is it going to work? Well, he got his golden parachute, but is he still there? No, he's not. And that was kind of the thing that had been floated from the beginning, is like, yeah, he'll stay there until the thing's done, and then we'll get him out. And that pretty much did what he said he'd do. He being Phil.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how much my hands are tied with what I can say, but given some of the things that circled Bobby within Activision, I know all you have to do is go out there and read about it. There was
Google
in-house issue. Yeah, Google it. I can fully understand why he was given the golden parachute and why they would like to have him removed from working with the brand, potentially. So, but yeah, this came as no surprise. I even said that. I think I made a comment on that, saying I think it was on Facebook when our social team put the post out. It's like, we knew this was happening. Just I didn't realize it was going to happen as quickly as it had happened. So,
Yep. I 100% agree. So they've made a bunch of changes to fill some holes. Most of them ABK changes. Nothing here like totally. A lot of these names I don't know. So I'm not super.
Yeah,
super
it's more the
surprised.
reporting. So, certain people will now, instead of reporting to Bobby at the head of Activision, and the people that worked under Bobby at Activision Blizzard, will now directly report to certain members of the Microsoft gaming community.
Yeah. And I think that's good. They said in an article we read a while back that they were acclimating or kind of bringing the ABK team into the Xbox studios quicker than they had projected. And so I think this is part of that happening. They're bringing them in and they're getting it done, and this was probably the next step. So
yep.
There you go.
And that's what you want to see. You want to see when two companies combine. You don't want to see the head of one company talking and liaising with the head of another company, and occasionally people underneath. This is like a full-blown tentacles intertwining kind of, Stranger Things style ordeal where the two worlds are coming together and merging and lapping over. So
yeah, 100%. And the more we can all chat and talk and see where projects are and make sure that things are doing the right thing that they're supposed to be doing, then the less likely we are to have subpar games. So let's not have subpar games.
No, let's get them out on time and then look good.
That's right. Yeah. News bulletin. Starfield, the only one we got. Starfield celebrates 13 million players. Not really a surprise. Actually, if anything, it's a surprise that it just happened, to be honest. 13. I mean, kind of thought we'd have got there already, to be honest.
Yeah, I'm shocked that it's took as long as that to get to 13 million players.
Yep. Yeah, but that's a problem with Bethesda and them coming out with the new IP. That bar is so high, even 13 million players, which is a huge bar. We're kind of like, wow, thought it'd take longer. Any other game, we'd be like, woo, way to go, that's awesome. And so they're a punishment of their own success.
I love all the other numbers. So 22,284,331 days played. 26,027,845 hours building ships.
That was at least 4 or 5 of those.
1.9 million planets visited, 4.5 million outposts, settlers, 12.3 million deaths from the ecliptic fraction, 1.7 deaths from Ashfa. Life forms. That's the most dangerous life form. Sorry, is in Ashford.
1.7 million deaths.
Yeah.
The favorite meal is the Battle Meal Multi-Pack.
Yep. Which is 18.4 million people have eaten it. And the most trusted weapon is the Combat Tech Beowulf, which is, wow. Racked up 595 million kills. Wow.
Seriously. The other thing to say about this is, holy shit, do they keep a lot of data on what the hell we're doing on that system? Like,
yeah. I mean, but I love things like this, though. These kind of like the whole rollbacks of 2023 and stuff like that people have been doing on Spotify and Xbox and Nintendo and stuff like that is great. So I really enjoy this kind of data.
Yeah, I think it's great, but it just kind of amazes me, like, oh, so they know what meals we're eating in the game, like that. I don't know. It's just absolutely nuts that they're down to that level of minutia when it comes to data.
But I think what's really key out of the 13 million players is that an average of 13 million players is the playtime has been 40 hours. So, and that's people that have played it and not completed it, played it and got bored of it, or played it and rushed it through. So,
yeah, I think I was about like 25 hours or something like that. And I barely got a few planets in, and yet Merry Christmas to Hambone Johnny here. I think he was 25 hours in and he beat the damn game. So I mean, I don't even know how he does it, but whatever. But I was about the 25-hour mark. Where were you at, Sean?
Yeah. I think I was around that too.
Yeah.
But then it was starting to get too in depth for the ship building, and I didn't quite understand what I was doing. And then Forza came out, so
Let's be honest. Forza came out. That's what really happened. That's fair. We knew we'd lose you to Forza. You have a great like story of like, yeah, Forza came out and I started to really like play the game and get really into racing and doing that thing. And I'm like, yeah, Coral Island came out, and I started to farm, and then people are like, he is such a sad man.
No, the thing is that you're not, because the game was. I played Coral Island; it was good. It just had so many issues that I couldn't carry on with it. Well, like you are an absolute trooper and carried on. So,
oh man!
And then not only did you carry on, you then started like getting at the developers on X, and then also joined the Discord server to continue to get at them and be like, fix my goddamn game.
I was nice about it, so I don't want any hate mail. I was nice. I did not like yell at them or anything like that. So, yes, I was like, hey, let me tell you, there's some issues. Let me give you a list of what they are. Let me regale you with a tale of all the problems that I'm currently having with this game.
I'd love to get behind the scenes of Coral Island and like see if they nicknamed a patch after you.
Yeah. We'll talk more about that in a second, because it's actually an interesting little story, to be honest. Even if you don't care about Coral Island, which I understand most of you don't, which is fair. So, congrats to Starfield for hitting 13 million players and all the other stats we just read off, and for apparently being Big Brother in my Xbox. Feature story: the favorite games of 2023. As we're going to talk about, we're at this wonderful place sandwiched between two major holidays. There's not shit out, so let's talk about what we did play when there was shit out. That's where we're at. Sean,
are we talking just Game Pass games or games in general across the board?
I don't give a crap. We make this up as we go along, Sean. We make the rules, man. We're the sheriffs. There's nobody else here. Judge, jury, and game player.
Just say, where are you going with this?
I know. I was like, I don't want to get that dark, so I'm gonna stay. I'm gonna edit that last one into something a bit happier. So yeah, you tell me what is your favorite game that you played? The favorite game.
The favorite
in 2023. I don't care if it's Xbox, Nintendo. I don't give a crap.
Do the crickets? Well, I think.
You think? I'll tell you. It's
probably
okay.
Tears across all consoles and everything I played. Tears of the Kingdom is probably the favorite game I played this year by far, because it's a Zelda game.
Yeah,
it's going to win no matter what. Second to that, Metroid Prime Remastered, because it's a Metroid game. So, and then probably for taking a franchise of a game, and this is now Xbox and Game Pass related, taking a franchise of a game and giving it a twist. So not only to draw new players in, but also to keep the old players of the franchise interested. Minecraft Legends. And
wow.
I didn't play that game a lot to the point where I completed it, but I played the game enough to enjoy the fact that they'd taken an already awesome franchise of a basic brick building game with very basic coding hiding behind it to then twist it and give you a story and different elements of gameplay and different. So it just took a game and was very interesting and made it its own thing in its own genre. So.
Mm-hmm. That's awesome. Sean, I said it in the beginning of the year, and it never changed. All year long, I've said the same thing, and I really thought it would change sometime around, but it did not. Hogwarts Legacy is my favorite game of the year. I mean, it's the game I picked as my top game, and it's also just the game I had the most fun with. Yeah. And if I had to do three. I was kind of looking at the game. I beat 22 games this year, by the way, which is pretty low. I was in the 40s last year, so kind of bummed about that, but I'll take my 22. Pikmin 4. I almost said Pikmin 3, but Pikmin 4. I had a lot of fun with that one. I had a lot of fun with my son with that one, and then this game is old, but I got into it this year, even though it always keeps evolving, and I'll talk about it, and I've talked about it for the last few months. I'm going to have to say Minecraft, because there are memories in Minecraft that will last the rest of my life, and they're with my kids. and I will remember them, and they will make me smile forever. So, yeah, Minecraft has to be number 3.
Yep. I mean, I could talk about lots of Ghostwire Tokyo. So this isn't now like her favorite games, but these are games I've enjoyed playing.
Yeah.
So we've hit favorites. So games I've enjoyed playing is Ghostwire Tokyo. Interesting first-person style shooter with some really, really in-depth story, an element of free running. It's dark in places, hilarious in others because of the story writing. Really, really interesting game. Sunk a lot of time into that. I was like close to 25 hours, I think, into that, and I hadn't even finished it. So, yeah, it's a very interesting game.
Let's go back and forth. I will say a Game Pass game that maybe some people don't know about or have forgotten about. Wandering Village. That's a civilization building game. You're on the back of a big beast, and it wanders through different biomes, and you have to you can see what biomes is coming up, and you have to prep for those biomes by changing what crops you're growing and changing kind of what you're I can't even remember everything, but just suffice to say, like, you'd be going through a desert and tomatoes won't grow anymore. So you got to kill growing tomatoes and start growing, like, I think it was corn or something. And like, if you're in the desert, you can't get water from the air through the humidity anymore. So you got to shut down your humidifiers and start growing cactuses. Again, cactus is the only way to get water. And it's a very interesting city builder, civilization builder, and so I had a lot of fun with that. By the way, I do want to shout out before Sean goes, if you have a game, we'd love to hear it on chat. Whether I'm looking at Instagram, I can see most of the multi-stream stuff. So if you got a game, throw it in, and we'll yell it out.
Yep. Redfall. I enjoyed that game. It took a lot of hate, which he should have took.
Yeah.
But this is what happens when this is why we were talking about the subpar games earlier. They obviously oversold it at 60 frames per second. It didn't come out of that, but it didn't deserve the amount of hate that it got. The game ran well. It was hilarious in places still. It was a lot of fun to play. The whole open world hunt a vampire kind of thing. Lots of fun. Graphics were really well done. We had fun playing it multiplayer, which was something that I was worried about because I didn't know how that was going to handle with it being a new genre to the developer, Arcane Studios, that did it. So yeah, thoroughly enjoyed that game. It's still there, still available now. I think it's also had some recent updates as well. So
yeah, if we could have played that, if we'd had more time to play that together, I think I could have really gotten into it. Because I was having more fun when we were playing together, and then when I started to play by myself, I was like, this isn't as much fun. Also, I'm scared because I'm a baby. Planet of Lana.
that was going to be my next one.
Was it? Yeah. Well, you can jump in and say your thoughts, but I thought the story without words was really good. I thought I love the puzzles. I thought it was fantastic.
Yep, I agree. The puzzles were a really good aspect to it. It took me back to like playing Abe's Odyssey, stuff like that. Games like that is where it took me back. So Atomic Heart. Now that was a big game, beginning of 2023.
Yeah, I kind of forgot about that.
Yeah, it had all the feels of BioShock, the third one that I can't remember the name of now. Not Skybound. I don't know. Had all the feels of that with crazy robots, in-depth story, and cool abilities and things like that. It was a fun game to play. It's one I'd like to go back to. It came out early in the year, and then lots of different stuff happened. So,
yeah. That's cool. I would go Disney Illusion Island as another one. Love this game. Fun. What am I trying? Metroidvania. Like your a kid's first Metroidvania game is what this is. That's what I'm trying to say. And there are parts that are somewhat hard.
I looked at that today. Well, I took Logan shopping with his Christmas money, and I thought that it was down to $21.99, and I thought, oh, Nick should like really enjoyed this game. I thought about picking it up, but then I didn't.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah. But then I didn't. We had a lot of fun with it. I played it with both kids and my mom actually, and so always each of the guys have a different little ability, and you gain these abilities as you do in Metroidvanias to progress, and so it's a good time.
My next one, and probably my last one for this year, not obviously discounting Forza Motorsport, because we've talked heavily about that being one of my favorite games, and Starfield. It's Jusant.
Oh wow, yeah, it is on here. Hadn't got to it yet. Yeah, that's a good one.
Yep, absolutely loved that game. The whole climbing aspect, the story with no words kind of thing, other than the letters and the writing and the clips and stuff that you pick up. Truly, like a one of a kind style game that I hope they create either something else around the same kind of idea and style, or make something that's very open world where you can just climb lots of different things and stuff like that. So
yeah. For Game Pass, 2 more. Cocoon, really good. Had a lot of fun with that game. Mind bender, loved it. And then Miniko's Night Market. If you're a crafty, cozy gamer, then that you need to give that a go for sure on Game Pass. And then not on Game Pass, of course, on Nintendo, Super Mario Wonder. Absolutely loved it.
Yep. So. Enjoyed Super Mario Wonder, and there was another Switch game that I played this year. It's gone completely gone. Also, did you just on talking Switch games? Have you heard when the Mario Rabbids DLC is?
I have not, Sean.
No, it was supposed to be December, but I haven't heard anything. And while I was looking for the eShop, it suggested that it was already there, but I don't think that's the one that I'm waiting for. Because that would have been my other thing that I'd have played and enjoyed was Mario Rabbids, because I haven't played that since it came out. I finished it within like a week.
Yeah, I mean, they're all supposed to be... So there's 3 DLC packs. Early 2023, the Tower of Doom. Mid 2023, Heroes confront a mysterious foe. And late 2023, it looks like the Rayman, Rabid, and Peach embark on their own adventure. Yeah, I don't know.
I'll have to do some more research and look into that myself.
Although, if you go down on the update, it says update to this article. The Tower of Doom is out now, which would make me think if they updated that the Tower of Doom is out, which is the first DLC pack, then that must mean that DLC 2 and 3 are not yet out, which would mean that they've really missed their date.
Yep, and that's what I was thinking when I was looking through the eShop the other day. I was like, where are these bits? These are like what I'm really waiting for.
Huh, interesting. Yeah, there you go. So that is those were some of our favorite games in 2023. Next week, we are going to do a predictions episode of what's coming out, what we think is going to happen in 2024. And Sean and I are always spot on. We never, ever miss. Ever.
Yep. Still waiting for that streaming thing without a hard drive.
So tune in, friends. It'll be a real laugh. With that said, we're moving on to our dashboard. Hey, before we get into what we've been playing, Sean, I got a pop quiz for you, but you probably saw it. But if you didn't, what do you think Bruce's favorite game of 2023 is.
Oh, I don't know. I haven't seen this.
Oh, you haven't? Okay,
I
good.
could very sneakily go across the Twitch and see it.
Don't do it.
I don't know. I reckon it's going to be the Star Wars open worldy kind of one.
Yeah. Jedi Survivor. That's the one. Bruce says his favorite game of 2023 was Jedi Survivor. Thanks for joining, man. We appreciate you hopping in and giving us your thoughts. All right, so the dashboard, Sean, why don't you go through your dashboard and then I'll go through mine.
Fair enough. So I played some more Far Cry 6. I think I get to a point in the game where I think I'm a bit confused on where I'm supposed to go next. But that's more because I'm trying not to plow straight through the main story. I'm trying to do lots of the side questy stuff. And I feel I've come to a junction where taking the anti-air artillery cannons out, I need explosives, but I don't have any explosives. I can't make grenades. I don't have any rocket launchers or anything like that. So I feel like I'm at a point now where I kind of need to push through the main story a little bit more. But I don't want to charge for it because we currently don't have any games coming out. So
Sure.
It's something I want to play slowly. But still enjoying that game, still finding it very difficult on the guerrilla mode.
Oh, I can't imagine.
So, yep. Goat Simulator 3. I have been playing this in bits with both kids and then sitting and watching both kids play it. They rolled the credits on this game.
Ooh, way to go.
Yep, rolled the credits. They've unlocked all the characters, the majority of the skins for all the characters, all the additional hats and stuff like that. They've kind of gone around and unlocked all those. They've done most of the Easter eggs. I think there's maybe only got 1 or 2 left. But yeah, they are systematically working through all the instincts and all the challenges and stuff like that and going through it all, as well as causing as much havoc as humanly possible or goatly possible in that game.
I love that, as goatly possible.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great. It's great so when your kids like band together and play a game like that. I absolutely love it.
Yeah, and it's so funny watching the different styles of gameplay. So like Emily will be like, last time she was playing it, she had like little cute bunny ears on, fairy wings coming out the back, and she could fly around. The goat was all white. And then Logan was this giant shark on a skateboard that was just terrorizing everybody and everything in its path. Just chalk, meat, cheese.
I love it.
And then the last thing I've been playing, because I haven't had a lot of time, it's been Christmas. I worked Christmas Day, Boxing Day, and Wednesday, and then I'm working Thursday, Friday. Working Friday night, Saturday night, and Sunday night. So I haven't had a lot of time to play anything. Meta emailed me and was like, "Hey, you've got some cash sat in your wallet that expires like tomorrow." So I jumped on the VR headset, had a scroll through, see what was on the sale, see what I wanted to spend this on because I didn't want to lose it. And I got a game called Walkabout Mini Golf, and just amazing, so much fun. If you do own a Meta Quest 2 or Quest 3, go pick this up. It's on sale now. It was $12.99. It's now down to $6 something. Such a good fun to play. It's like having your very own personal mini golf course in your house. Lots of different interesting levels. There's lots of levels that are there that are free to unlock. There's obviously pay to unlock kind of stuff. And then each level you can play the hard version of it if you find all the lost golf balls. So every hole on the course has a lost golf ball. So you kind of like move around the course, looking over the edge, down the cracks and stuff like that, and you can pick up these lost golf balls.
That's fun. Good on Meta for letting you know that you had money you were about to lose.
Yeah.
So.
They didn't give me very long. It was like 8 p.m. in the UK when they told me. It was like, you're going to lose it tomorrow. So good luck.
Why do I feel like 4 hours is the legal limit, is the legal time where they have to be like, you must give them at least 4 hours notice that you're going to steal their money. And they're like, okay, we will. On a side note on something like that, we got a call from a the cruise people that we went on the cruise with, the company. And they were like, we just wanted to let you know that we've decided that you can have this voucher that we hadn't used yet, which we had no plans to. We were just going to let it go away. You have unlimited amount of time to use this voucher. And I was like, oh wow, it's really nice of you. What made you make that change? And then she was like, the European Union. They basically said we couldn't make it go away, so we just made it a worldwide policy. And I was like, oh, okay. I was like, well, I appreciate your generosity, whether it was forced or not, but thanks. So thanks, European Union.
Take your money and run away.
Yeah.
But,
So, yeah. Anyways, any other dashboard for you?
No, I've still got Tin Hearts to try and get to. I keep saying I want to get to it, but I've obviously not had much time building tiny little plastic robots like this one I'm holding up now. If anybody's ever bought Tobby the robot, you'll know that it's a pain in the ass to build. Or I've been at work, so.
Oh man, we gotta talk about gifts in party chat for sure. Gifts for kids and gifts for us. I'm down. Dashboard for me. That's right. I'm back into Coral Island. I won't talk much about it. Y'all know what it is. I will just say that all of the crashes are gone. I have literally played that game for about 10 hours since they did a patch for Christmas. It was the Christmas Miracle Patch, as I call it now. They tweeted or posted on X that they were that the office was gone. So they must have sent that patch out and then left for Christmas, and we're just waiting for Xbox to process it. And they didn't say anything about that a patch was in the works. And so all of a sudden they were like, somebody tweeted from Coral Island's thing, and they were like, hey, there's a patch out for Xbox. And it specifically mentioned the S numerous times. And I was like, oh, okay, well, I have to go see what this is. And sure enough, man, so there was a memory leak, apparently, in the S only, that was a problem for the Series S only. There was a memory leak, and that was what was causing all the crashes. And I've been good ever since. It's very interesting to me, though, that these two devices sit next to each other, seemingly would have the same coding language and all that jazz, but yet one can cause that amount of an issue for a developer over the rest of them. So I think that's, whether you care about, like I said, whether you care about Coral Island or not, I think that's an interesting thing to keep in your mind when you think of these developers trying to make these games that have, I imagine, bazillion lines of code for Steam, PlayStation, Xbox, and then maybe Nintendo. And then when you think about not only that, but also all these different sub-SKUs within those platforms. I think that's very, very interesting, and you kind of got to take your hat off to them for making that even possible. So,
yeah, and I'm super glad that you've managed to get your game back.
Yeah,
and you can play it
for sure. I appreciate them for putting the time in. Ultimate Chicken Horse. So my son got a $35 eShop card. Was wondering what to download. I kind of knew some other people who had been interested in this game, and I was like, hey, look at this. And he was like, yeah, I want to download this. And so he did. And this game is hilarious. So what it is, Sean, you can play up to 4 players. It's a 2D platformer. You start in one area, and the goal is in another. Now, there are many different modes. In my opinion, the most fun is party mode. So when you start, this box gets laid out on the screen, like the box is laid out so you can only see the top, and then it opens up, and there are all these different items. And then basically it's a free-for-all to who grabs the item they want most first. So you push on the item, that's your item. Then the box goes away, and it takes you to the screen where you have your starting point and your goal, and you get to lay these items. Now, the interesting thing is you can lay these items in ways that help everybody get to the goal. So if you have stairs and you put them out and it kind of walks people up to that goal, then everybody can now get to that goal easier. But the whole point is that you get to the goal first. And better yet is you're the only one that gets to the goal. That's how you make the most points. And there are other things like saws and bombs and arrows that you can put out and make life more difficult, but it also makes your life more difficult. So you have to think about like, how can I use this in a manner that I think will trip up other players, but I've already thought through how to get around this trap when I lay it. And so, yeah, everybody lays their trap or their item however they want to, and then the game starts, and it's a race to get to the goal, and whoever gets there first wins. And yeah, you play until you get so many points, and it is a riot. We absolutely love it. Noah likes to put stuff right over the goal to make it near impossible to get in. The good thing is you get bombs that can blow stuff up off of the map. So like each round you play, you'll get a new item. So you'll get a new set of items to choose from. So then all of a sudden the items start stacking up on others. So now you got stairs and you got a saw and you got an arrow and then there's a swinging axe and it's like, and all this stuff is getting placed all over the board. And so this like super easy like start to finish platformer is now utterly ridiculous, and you've all done it to yourselves. So it is absolutely a blast. If you're looking for a game to play with 4 people, I suggest you check it out. And I think it was $6. It's worth $6. You can also create your own levels and post them to like a global area. You can play other people's games. We played somebody's Santa's Workshop. It was ridiculous. I did figure out how to beat it because I had made it a goal at that point, but it was not an easy finish. But so that's Ultimate Chicken Horse. It's a dumb name, but a fun game. And then Minecraft. I know I bring it up every week, but we made it to a Nether Fortress today, Sean. It was a huge. We were so frustrated. We gave up on the Nether for a real long time, and I made a little ranch in the main world. I changed our ranch from the basement out into this area. It's all big, and I did all kinds of stuff. I made this wall, so now there's like no zombies that get to us now. It's great. It's a lot of fun. I was having a good time with it. The kids love that they can drag animals into this huge ranch, and it's all like fancy with fences and everything. But we went back to the Nether to try to figure it out, and I won't lie, we got this guidebook, the guidebook I was telling you about for Christmas, these like 5 books with the symbols on them. And one of the books said, when you portal into the Nether, there is always a Nether fortress near you. And I thought, well, that's a lie. Because I done searched this Nether everywhere, and there ain't a Nether fortress anywhere in here. But then I thought, I've been up, I've been down, and I've been in like 3 directions. But when we portal, there is this ocean of lava. Like basically we portal and there's this cliff right like not but 10 blocks in front of us, which is a straight drop into an ocean of lava. And I told the kids, I was like, the only thing we have not done is to
just cross that ocean.
Cross the ocean of lava. And so we had a ton of cobblestone and netherrack, so we drug it out of our chest and started building this bridge across the ocean of lava. And sure enough, we got about 50 blocks out before all of a sudden like the game rendered this like square silhouette. And I was like, guys, that's not a mountain. I was like, I don't know what that is, but I guarantee you that's not a mountain. It's way too square. And sure enough, we got there and it was the Nether Fortress. We haven't done much except die. We got the bridge to get to the Nether Fortress. Now we need to get a plan on how to like cross it. But man, every time like there's just new fun things, and we get all excited, and I don't know, just it's that game. I never ever thought I'd be this addicted to Minecraft in my entire life, and I absolutely love it.
So it just you are now at a point in the game where I have never got to. I never found a Nether Fortress. I mean, by the time I realized there was a Nether to get to, I'd played the game for over 100 hours. I'd done loads of mining at the top and loads of crafting at the top, and got down into the Nether quite late on. And then I came away from the game. So what kind of stuff are you running into in the Nether Fortress in terms of like
Sure.
The time I spent in the Nether, I kind of just got hounded by ghasts.
Yeah.
And that really.
Yeah, so we haven't got very deep into this Nether Fortress because we keep dying. And you're right, the gas. So like I started out by building a 1-block bridge all the way out there, and it's probably 100 blocks, I'd say, to get to this Nether Fortress in the middle of this ocean of lava. And it didn't work because 50% of the time when we were running across this bridge, a ghast would basically take us out. And we'd have to just like respawn and come back into this. So I spent most of the playtime once we connected to the Nether Fortress making this like 2-track bridge with 2 blocks on either side so that the ghasts either their fireballs wouldn't hit us, or better yet, they don't even see you. And then you get to the Nether Fortress and you don't have 3 ghasts chasing you plus all the other stuff. But the time I did spend, we had wither skeletons, which I don't. They can hit you with a wither spell, which is kind of like a type of poison, and it slowly like eats your hearts away. That and the thing that we needed in the Nether Fortress to move forward, and I don't even remember why anymore. It's been so long. We needed blaze rods, which are from the blaze, which is this like, I don't know, fire
springy bouncy animal thing.
No, that's the magma cubes. They're everywhere.
Hmm.
No, these are like I don't know. They're like 6 sticks on fire that float around and shoot fireballs at you, basically. And
okay.
So we need blaze rods from that thing, which we've yet to kill, to be able to. Sean, the journey started so long ago for this fortress. I don't even remember why we need them anymore, but we need them for some reason. And so to be able to move forward to find the end of Minecraft, which is kind of my ultimate goal. And I've pulled back on that. I was really pushing the kids to get there. I realized this is going to be a slog, so I need to let them have fun and do their own thing. And every once in a while we start towards that. But I'll let you know next week. I'm sure we'll get further into it. We need to kind of armor up and get better weapons and all go in at the same time. My son kept throwing himself with a stone sword into the Nether Fortress only to die and die and die again. But I think if all 3 of us can like attack the Nether Fortress at the same time, a couple of swords, maybe a guy with a bow and arrow or crossbow, a little bit of armor, I think maybe we'll be able to make some headway, hopefully. But
have you gone down the route of enchantments yet for armor?
We haven't done much. I have a potion. What is it? A brewing pot or whatever. But I think it's the enchantments that we needed the blaze powder for or something like that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's hard for me to remember.
Yeah,
I just know.
The only reason why I'm asking this is because I know that come the Ender Dragon, you're going to need enchanted armor.
Oh, yeah.
That's the only thing Logan keeps telling me, because he got an Ender Dragon toy for Christmas and it came with Steve in an enchanted armor. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so
also something else that I learned from Logan is if you wear a jack-o'-lantern on your head, Endermen don't attack you. Apparently.
I might have to try that. Yeah. Yeah, so it's needed for a lot of brewing potions, the blaze powder is.
Oh, okay.
So it's also needed for like a ender pearl, which I know is like super important for the end of the game. I looked it up.
Yep.
And then I can do something. Oh no, that's blaze powder makes magma cream. Lord, I don't need magma cream. I got 1,000 bazillion of them. So yeah, I don't know. So we're excited. The game keeps giving me memories with my kids, which I will love forever. And so yeah. That's what I've been playing. What's on your docket, sir? You got anything coming up?
Well, we have no games coming up.
That's
so
fair.
it just be Tin Hearts, more Far Cry 6, and play some more Crazy Golf on my VR headset.
Nice. Yeah, I'm kind of with you. I'm debating. I got some eShop cash. I'm debating on whether to buy Super Mario RPG. I'm not sure. I mean, I love the game. I've played it already. I've beat it. So I'm not sure if I want to spend money on it, but I did get some eShop gas for Christmas. So I might do that, but I might just save it because I know I got a Peach game that I'm going to be buying here soon. Well, I don't know if soon is the right word, but in a few months.
And the Donkey Kong game as well.
Yeah. So there's stuff coming, so I might just not get it. And not let them scoop me up on another nostalgia journey. Gosh darn Nintendo, I tell you. So, but yeah, other than that, it's Coral Island and Minecraft for me. And Ultimate Chicken Horse. I'll probably be talking about the same damn 3 games unless Microsoft drops something exciting from now until Tuesday. Anything else before I move on to the party chat?
No, well, I'm going to say now, we're going to need to move into the party chat, but my cat has just decided that he now wants to go outside. And if I don't go and let him out, he has a tendency of just crapping on the floor.
Don't crap on the floor. Let the cat out. Let the cat out of the bag.
I'll be 2 seconds.
It's party time! Woohoo! Oh, yeah!
Well, Sean is gone. We do have to ask Sean though. Like, does he not have a litter box for his cat? Like, how does this? I don't know. I mean, we have a cat. We have a litter box. I need to know the answer to this question. Sean and I have been podcasting long enough. I feel like I should know that. It's like a dog. It has to go out. It's the only way. No litter box. I don't know. Seems weird. Just saying. Sean kind of knows this, so I'll talk about something I'm excited about. More Minecraft. God, I swear we just can't get away from it. But this one's kind of fun. I got my son a Coda Kid. Not sponsored, by the way. But if they wanted to, we could do that. Coda Kid, Minecraft mod. I don't know thing. And so he is learning how to make his own armor and his own swords and his own, I don't know, all that stuff. Make his own blocks even. He's making his own ore. He's doing all kinds of stuff. And he's putting it in Minecraft, not our Minecraft. Our Minecraft is vanilla Minecraft. I'm not letting him like mess with that. But he's hitting dirt blocks now, and he's got diamonds and emeralds coming out of it. He's got this funky sword, new armor. I don't know. He's got all kinds of stuff, and he's having an absolute blast getting to change up the game any way he really wishes. So he's really loving that. If your kids are into Minecraft, you're looking for something that's not just them playing game, teaching them a little bit more about coding, very basic. Like it's more of a query system than like words being typed out and hard code. When I say hard code, like I have any idea what I'm talking about. Very little. And so, but he's absolutely loving that. We do a lesson a day. So, like I said, he's made a sword, he's made armor, he's made blocks he's made diamonds come out of blocks. He can make whatever he wants come out of dirt blocks now, or whatever blocks he chooses. So think about that. Welcome back, Sean.
I'm quite keen. Hi. So, I heard the question very quickly first. I'm quite keen on the coding thing. Flights of stairs kill me at the moment. I'd be quite interested in, once Logan gets old enough to understand what coding is, try him on that. So,
yeah, and this one I was really worried because I was like, he uses a typewriter, but he's not very proficient with it, and he's getting really good at spelling words, but he's still sometimes, like armor comes out as like ARMER, and I'm like, no, but it's an O, and he's like, those kind of things that trip you up with our language. Of, like,
is it not OU?
Yeah. See, for us, it's ARMOR. But see that, I mean, I don't know who spells what. Why? I don't know. Don't ask me. But so I was really worried that he'd get frustrated like typing everything out. But like I was saying, it's a query system, and so that works out very well. There's a lot more clicking and pointing, and he's getting much more proficient with the mouse, and so it's been good all the way around for him, and he's having a lot of fun with it.
Okay, it's computer proficiency as well, which is always good.
Yeah, so. Exactly. So why does your cat not have a litter box, Sean?
Because he won't use it. He's such an ass. I mean, the cat's 9 years old. He's stubborn, really stubborn. But yeah, we can get a litter box for him, and he will literally like walk past the litter box and crap in the hallway. Against the wall as well. He like always chooses to do it against the wall. So he goes down the wall a little bit. It's in the skirting, and it's just like. So yeah, So he doesn't stay in. He's an outdoor type cat. This time of year, he tends to come in when the weather's a bit worse. It's raining, it's cold, and like today, we're currently being hit by a giant storm of wind at the moment. But yeah, gets to a certain point, and he will literally go downstairs. He eats some food. He'll come back up, and then he sits at the top of the stairs, but just high enough so he can just see his eyes, and he'll sit there and stare. And then occasionally he'll just go, eh. And it's like, yeah, okay, I know you want to go out. So as soon as you stand up and walk towards him, he darts to the back door, and then he sits by the back door and just stares at it. So
he's like a dog.
Yeah. So the thing is, well, yeah, the other thing is though, he'll go out, do that, and then sit by the back window in the kitchen to come back in, and it's like.
So you open the kitchen window to let him in?
No, we've only got it's only the top part of the window. Then he wouldn't fit through the top part of the window. Okay. This is we're talking like Garfield sized cat.
Gotcha.
So
that's absolutely that's hilarious. I love it. Absolutely love it. So what'd you get, Sean? Any presents you wanna mention? Kid presents, you presents?
So we'll go with me presents first. I got some. I think we talked about the 5 different things that me and Lindsay picked for each other.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I got some stuff I could wear. I got some socks, which is good because I love getting socks at Christmas. I will be one of those only guys out there is like the practicality of somebody else buying you socks. You don't have to go buy them. Winner.
Mm-hmm.
I got some Reese's Pieces style chocolate, like a selection box, a really big adult size Reese's selection box, which I've got none left because I am also quite a greedy boy when it comes to stuff like that. That was my something to eat. My something in her favorite color. She got me a shower block, which is like a really cool lime green shower soap bar, which I quite like.
Oh, cool.
I got a book to read. Mental Fitness by Ant Middleton, who was an SAS soldier, I believe. So I'm going to start that in the new year because I'm going to be doing some kind of weird challenge at the beginning of the new year, which I'll talk about in a minute. And then I got a game called Hook and Ring, which was an absolute hit Christmas Day evening with the rest of the family. So people have probably seen this before. It's usually used as a drinking game. 2 metallic rings on a piece of string, and supported like a T shape. And all you have to do is you have to just pull the ring back slightly, let it go. It swings and hook. The aim is to hook it on a hook. Every time you hook it on a hook, you get to move this pin closer to your opponent, and the person that moves it towards the opponent the most off the board wins. Dead simple game. It freaking difficult to play. So I set it all up. I went to my sister-in-law's. I set it all up. And one of my nieces was one of the first people to play it with me. We were kind of just pressing and playing, and she beat me. And then she beat me again. And then she beat me again. So I got fed up of playing, and I disappeared, so she played somebody else. I came back later, and I was like, oh, how is it going? She's like, yeah, I'm winning. I'm at 14-0.
Wow. She's got the touch.
Yep. So, but that was good. And that was kind of like, other than the money that I was supposed to use towards a bike, but is now being used to fix a windscreen, thanks to a giant stone that bounced off the windscreen.
The worst.
That's pretty much it for Christmas. I got a nice running t-shirt off my mother-in-law, which was nice. That was supposed to use for the biking as well. It's the Mountain Warehouse. I don't know if you have Mountain Warehouse in the US. But pretty good outdoor sports clothing company.
Nice.
But kids' presents, yeah, plenty. Logan got a Minecraft Nerf gun, which was a giant bow and arrow. It's one of those motorized ones. It has to pull the string back, and that sets the motors going, and then pulls the trigger.
Nice.
Thing hurts.
I bet. Yeah. Yeah. So what does it use? Darts or balls? Or arrows?
Darts.
Darts. Okay.
Darts. Yeah. He got a really cool Ender Dragon which is like, I don't know, about a meter from its tip to its tail to the tip of its nose is a meter long. So a similar size wingspan. Lights like its eyes light up and its mouth lights up, and you can put water in its head. So when you press a button, it opens its mouth and breathes steam out.
That sounds
or
awesome.
Water vapor. It doesn't warm it up. You got a peripheral of other Minecraft toys and stuff like figures and figure sets and things like that. But Emily got the Fall Guys Monopoly. I'll grab it so the people who are watching it can see it, but I'll then describe it to the people that can't watch it. So she got this Fall Guys Monopoly.
Nice. That looks awesome.
Really interesting take on the Monopoly game. So it's the Monopoly style board, like you have normally. You have Go, Jail, free parking, so your corner pieces. Instead of cash, you have kudos. So it runs like a kudos system, a bit like in the actual game itself, where you can earn kudos to spend in the in-game, like an in-game currency. There is obstacles which you clip to the board. One of them's a seesaw. You've got a movable wall, and then I can't remember what they call it, but it's like a giant hammer. And the objective is to the person with the most kudos wins. And the way you earn the kudos is every time you pass Go, you collect 2,000 kudos. You can collect kudos from specific areas on the board. There's an activity dice that comes with it that you can earn kudos on. And then there's also game boards. So as you're going around, the different games that you can play in Fall Guys become like the streets that you can buy in Monopoly, and you buy them for a face value, and then there's a rent value on them and stuff like that.
Gotcha.
If you own a color set, it earns more and stuff. It was just a really interesting that we played a quick game this evening, and it's just a really interesting take on Monopoly and Fall Guys as an overlap.
Huh, that's fun. That is pretty sweet.
And then Emily got a load of drawing stuff. We bought her a laptop, which then she got a digital art pad for the laptop as well, so she can plug that in, and she's doing all her, like, she does a lot of anime style drawing, so she's doing that.
Cool, man. Well, that sounds like an awesome Christmas. We did I think we talked. I don't know if I talked about it too much because I was afraid that kids were going to hear me upstairs. But I got a ukulele, and my daughter got a ukulele, and we're going to pay for ukulele lessons for the both of us. So that was kind of a big, one of the bigger presents for both of us. Noah got the coding thing, which he's super pumped about. Very excited. Lots of Legos. I've been helping Ariel put together an Encanto house, basically. Madrigal. Yeah, it's intense, and I'm very proud of her because she's doing a good job. Like she's very focused on getting this done. And also Noah got like a Harry Potter, real cool thing. So it's like the crest of Gryffindor. You build it, and it folds out. And when it folds out, it's like basically the common room. And so he can put it down on the table and play with it because he got like 3 like Harry Potter guys to go with it. So he can play with it that way. But then when he's done playing with it, brilliant idea, Lego, he can then fold the thing back up that makes the like half a room. And then when it folds up, it shows the crest, the Gryffindor crest on the outside, and it has a hanger on the top. And so you can put it on your wall as like a hanger that just kind of displays the Gryffindor thing. So that's really fun.
I like the Lego books that you can get. I don't know if you've seen those, the Lego Harry Potter style books that you can open up, and inside are like different play sets. Emily's got a couple of those, and like she has them stored in her bookshelf, but like if you were just panning across the bookshelf, you wouldn't really recognize them straight away.
That's cool.
That's quite cool.
Yeah. So I also got an air fryer. So I'm now part of the air fryer world. Actually, it's not me. We got an air fryer. So now I'm part of the air fryer world. It's actually, I love the thing. We've had it a few times.
So which one did you get?
I don't know. The one that fries air. I don't know.
Oh, you don't know the brand.
No, I don't. I'm sorry.
We have one, and it's the best thing ever. Like, if for and you'll probably appreciate this as well for parents that both work and like having to try and feed children quickly and balance stuff like that. Nuggets and fries, less than 10 minutes and done.
Yep. Yeah, we I put nuggets in it. That was the first thing we did actually, Sean, because I'm a parent. So we threw nuggets in there, and yeah, I mean it was 10 minutes, and they were good. Like I don't normally eat the nuggets because I think they taste horrible, but they actually taste really pretty good They actually taste pretty good in the air fryer. So yeah, then the kids like gave it a thumbs up. They were a big fan. We reheated some lasagna, which tasted really good in there. And so the next thing tomorrow, I told the kids I would bake with them because they like to bake with me. And so there was a lava cake recipe actually in the thing. And so I've never made a lava cake, and so I thought, why the heck not make an air fryer lava cake? So see how that turns out. I'll let you know.
Ours has a dehydrate function,
Ooh.
which I really, really like because you can make your own beef jerky.
Nice. Yeah, that would be great. So yeah, it was a great time. We had a lot of fun with friends and family, a lot of good presents, a lot of just a really good time. Yeah.
Yeah, my Christmas morning, I woke up, I set my alarm for 5:15. Kind of laid in bed, hoping that like the kids would have heard my alarm. So I had to go to work, so like so it was one of those where like if I didn't get them up early, I might not have been able to see them. So I laid there in bed, and at like 5:30, Lindsay kind of stirred. She's like, it's just what, you still here? And I was like, yeah, I'm gonna wait till the dying death before I have to set off because like there'll be nobody else on the road. There'll be no traffic.
Right.
Just. So like I laid there and like 10-6 came around. I was like, I'm gonna have to get up and get dressed. All right. So I got up, got dressed, went downstairs, and like we seal the door with wrapping paper every year, and like that had started to come off at one corner. So I was like, I'm so glad I've come down early. So like applied a bit more tape and stuff like that, and kind of looked at that, and then like listened out for the kids, hoping like the sound of the tape might have disturbed them. Nope. So I went downstairs. I started to like literally as I got downstairs and started to put my shoes on. This is like 6:10, and I normally leave for work at like 6:20. I heard this almighty boom, boom. I was like, "That's Logan. He's literally leapt out of bed." So like I waited and like I heard them start coming down. So I chucked my shoes back off and went back up the stairs, and I got to do like 10-15 minutes of opening presents before I had to leave for work, which was nice.
That's cool, man. That's cool. Glad you got some of that time with him. Yeah, so Santa came, everybody was good enough that Santa came, and so they opened Santa presents, and it was a lot of fun. Santa brought Legos. And oh man, I can't even remember what else now. I don't remember. The Legos came from Santa. I know that. And I don't know. It's all blur now, Sean. How's that for an answer?
Well, this is it. I think we even DM'd each other, and it was like it's absolutely crazy. Like the lead up to Christmas seems to be so slow, and then like here it is. We're on Thursday. We're 3 days after Christmas. And it's like wow.
Yeah. It really is nuts. It's like the fastest 2 days of the year. I mean, it's like I literally in the last 48 hours have spent that time with pretty much 90% of my family, and it just freaking flew by, and it's like, is it gone already? Like really? Like all that work I put in to all the aspects, some that nobody even will know about. It's like, okay, all right. But I love it. I do it every year. I'll do it forever if they let me.
This is very true. I mean, we've got the new year coming up soon. I know a lot of people have family plans around that. Have you got any plans in the new year, which are...
Yeah, so we New Year's Eve, we host here with just a really small, like parents and then friends, like like a few friends, no more than that. So it's a very small party, but we always love it. Play games, watch the ball drop, and that's that. And then New Year's Day, we go to my mom's and wrap wontons. You know what those are?
No.
So it's like now they can be a bit different from what I know depending on who's making them, but how my mom has always made them is like this little ball of meat, like hamburger meat that's seasoned somehow with onions and green peppers, and then it literally is called a wonton wrapper. It's kind of like it's a less thick than an egg roll wrapper, but more thick than a spring roll wrapper, somewhere in between the two. And I know, and so it gets sealed, it gets fried, and they're amazing. And we have wontons and fried rice and cashew chicken. So it's Chinese New Year's, and it's one of my favorite times. And we just play games all day long, eat copious amount of wontons and fried rice, and that'll be the day. And we'll be there. We'll have this thing called those drinks called grasshoppers, cream de mint, cream de cocoa, ice cream, ice. So good. So that's my New Year's Day.
My New Year's is
I'm sorry.
very dependent upon the demand of the UK on what power they want. So now I'm at work. I will start work 7 p.m. New Year's Eve. I will finish work 7 a.m. New Year's Day, to which I will probably crawl home into bed, cuddle up to my wife, fall asleep for an hour or two to be woken up by the kids. And I think on New Year's Day, we're going to watch some ducks race. I can't remember where these are. I think, but apparently it's a New Year tradition that happens quite often that like people go and witness this duck race along a river.
Are they swimming or running, or what are they doing? Are they live ducks? Help me out here.
They are live ducks.
Okay.
And they are swimming, I guess.
Okay. Huh.
So I will take photos and report back.
I was going to say
for the next week's show, so I'll tell you exactly. But that's the plans for New Year. So,
do you guys have turtle races there ever?
No, turtles are not very easy to come by in this country.
Oh, okay. See, I didn't know that. Yeah, they are very easy to come by where I'm from. So they put a I don't know, a round metal thing, and PETA and all its supporters are probably like, what the hell? So don't listen. They put a round metal thing, put turtles in the center, and then they lift the thing up, and there's another circle around that, and they have the turtles crawl, and whoever's turtle gets to the end of the line, or the edge of the circle first, that person wins. So it's done mostly for kids. It's done completely for kids. So popular thing. No. I feel like I'm going to get an email from PETA, I'm pretty sure.
No, as long as the turtle's well fed afterwards. Watermelon.
Yeah. There's no turtles hurt in the production of this game. Thank you.
Anyway, I do believe we have.
Yeah, we got to
kind of talked. We've talked the pie chat out completely. And to be fair, we've managed to fill an hour and a half of show, considering we didn't have a right lot to talk about.
That's true.
Yeah, welcome to us as a pair. We can talk about absolutely nothing for a long period of time.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, but anyway, thank you everyone for listening. I all hope you had a fantastic Christmas. From myself, from Nick, from everybody at the Game Pass Tracker family. We wish you the greatest of luck going into the next year. If you want to wish us good luck and good fortune for the next year, you can do. All our social media platforms are at Game Pass Tracker. You can send us an email at show@gamepasstracker.com. And yeah, until next time, we shall see you in the new year. See you later.
See you later, guys. Have a happy, safe New Year's Day and Eve.